Yo, 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 no maniacs, super no maniacs, and everybody in and between. Listen, this is a video, and hey, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you guys like this new content and you want to see more of it, man, hit the subscribe button. I'll keep pumping and pumping more content out. Um, Hit that subscribe button, hit the like, share with your people, hit that notification bell because you never know when I'm gonna drop one of these videos or do a live pod. And you know, don't forget also Saturday we're gonna do the prospect show. We're gonna do it in the trenches, man. So we're gonna work all those guys, man, the offensive linemen, your defensive linemen, some of those guys. We're going to get a bunch of them out there for you guys to view. And so check that out tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central. But let me get right on into what we came here to talk about. And I had to record this one not too long after I put the video out about Noah Sewell. But this one won't leave my mind. It's in my spirit, man, because this guy you see on the screen right here, Jaquan Brisker, is probably one of, if not my favorite player on the team. Why? Because he's almost like my spirit creature as a football player. He's aggressive, tenacious. He's got every embodiment that I like and trait that I like in a football player. I mean, and he pretty much is the example of the kind of players that I think we should be looking for in Chicago. Guys that play with that chip, guys that play with that edge and just salty, seedy, and just, gives you that attitude out there. And I think it elevates everybody around him. It elevates the stadium. It elevates me as a fan. And, watching the game now, I love to see his play, man. I love Jaquan Brisker. So this is difficult for me to make this video because the truth is, like the question says on the screen, can they depend on Jaquan? That's the question. It's not me looking to try to move on from Jaquan Brisker. I'm not, man. I am not. I love this kid. Absolutely love the way that fire and desire that he plays with. I love it. To even have this conversation or to be prompted in my mind and emotionally to have this conversation is difficult for me because I don't want to see this guy not be in Chicago or worse yet, lose his career because of concussions. It makes me sick to my stomach because I would imagine me, as a player at that point in my life, it would take Jesus, divine intervention, Noah, Moses, whoever, to stop me from playing football under his circumstances. Even given what I know about his circumstances, what I've seen, it would take hell to get me off that field. And I know Jaquan at that point in his career is thinking the same thing. Nobody's caring about mortality at that point. Nobody's caring about future. It's just a game you love. It's just a game you love, and you're going to have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands. Kind of mentality that I know he's got going on in his head. He's in bunker mentality. He ain't worried about nothing other than my career is not getting taken from me. I'm getting back on that field. And it disturbs me that I know there's going to be probably some politics that comes into this. What do I mean by that? Because the Chicago Bears, the front office, the brass, has to decide. They have to decide whether or not we want to put him back on the field in a Bears uniform. What are the doctors saying? Are the doctors giving them the green light? Do you just trust your eyes in the first place? And have you seen enough to say, you know what? As much as I love this kid, as much as I want to put him back on the field because he wants to be back on there is a business decision that might need to be made. There is a business decision that may need to come to fruition here, unfortunately. And I hate that. I absolutely hate it because I love the player, but I do worry about the guy. He plays with that edge and that saltiness and, and the truth is there's really no protecting someone like that, a player of his caliber, from these types of injuries. Really no, he could put the Guardian cap on and play with that. That's great. That's great. But I think, and this is just, the last hit that put him out for the rest of the year wasn't a fundamental or technical error on his part at all. He went to the aiming point and it was in the middle of the player's body where he's supposed to put his aiming point at. and the player came down and they knocked heads. So that's just it was a freak accident is what it was, but it cost them. It's not that particular one. It's the totality of them. Time after time after time, it's your brain is on an island in your head, sitting on a body of water. I think it's probably not right, but and it's very vulnerable to movement, sudden movement, like shock movement. And it's hard to protect that, that vital piece of your body when you're playing football. It just is. I've had a couple of concussions in my life, simply two of them. One of them had a splitting headache that I'll never forget in my life. The other one felt like I just took some kind of drugs. Like I was high beyond imagination, but it only happened twice in my life. So I've experienced both the, I guess the worst side of a concussion, if you want to call it the best side. It was a great. I don't hardly remember much of that, the rest of that half, but I remember I just felt, I don't know what you want to call it. I was just lightheaded, the whole entire second half, and just forgot most of it. But yeah. So I just think this, man. This is what I think happens here. I think if nothing else, they will draft another safety, high caliber safety. Possibly, I don't know what they think about, Elijah Hicks. I thought he played his butt off, before he got hurt. There's some quality backups there. Jonathan Owens is still there, but I do believe 110% Chicago will come out of this draft with a high caliber safety. What round they get him in, who knows? Who knows? But I know they'll come out of this draft with a high caliber safety because as much as you love Jaquan Brisker, as much as I love this kid, the facts of the matter won't change. And the possibility and the probability of him receiving another concussion, and for anybody, for that matter, that plays football, is high. He's gonna get concussed again at some point. What happens after that, what kind of concussion it is, I mean, nobody knows. But the truth is they have to get an insurance policy for Jaquan Brisker. And I mean, when I say insurance policy, I don't know what that comes down to in the front office. Do they reevaluate his contract and put some kind of waiver or clause in it, that basically removes liability from the organization in case he gets hurt again and it's a substantial head injury. Those are the things that you have to think about, I'm sure, as an owner. And, when you got, football players playing for you with a track record like his, this is just smart business. I don't know how they'll go about that. If they did, if they, for all we know, they've talked about that already. I don't know. But, listening to Poles talk about him when asked, he sounded, I guess, quasi-committal to him. It didn't sound like he was out on him, but I know I listened to it a couple times, and I can tell that, yeah, they got hopes for Jaquan Brisker, but they know that they're going to need to do something in the event that he's not available on a regular basis. They got to do something. They got to do something. And so, what that turns out to be, I believe it's going to be a high-level safety. One of these guys out of here, several of them that I put out here in prospect reviews and stuff like that. You guys can check some of those guys. Several safeties out there, and I'm not done. I haven't even scratched the surface with the safeties. There's a lot of them to put out there, so be looking forward to that. But I just had to leave this. I'm gonna leave you guys with these words of encouragement for Jaquan Brisker, because I hope that I know he's a giant in his mind. You know what I mean? I know he's as tough as they come, man. He's as tough as they come. And I know come hell or high water, he wants to get back on that damn field. I could promise you that. You guys know that. All you got to do is watch him play one football game, and you know what type of guy he is. His character is off the charts as far as football goes. Off the charts. And so I just wish, if Jaquan sees this, man, I wish you well. And ain't nobody in the world cheering for you as loudly and hard as I am. I just had to put this out here so that we can have a conversation about, what you guys think they'll do. Do you think they're in a situation where they can depend on Jaquan Brisker? Let me know in the comment section. Leave me your thoughts, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on your way up out of here if you haven't. But I appreciate you guys for listening. I'm going to leave you with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, people, There's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, and I repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind. But with that being said, I am